시원한 사과바다 여기요 여사구 여사구
I want to say nowadays a lot of people are interested in it. Like, I know for one, I'm always interested in it. I've always been like that since I was a kid. I find the culture very interesting, as well as the people.
Well, I think a lot of Americans are maybe don't know a lot about other cultures, maybe in the Midwest and places, as much as maybe someone lives in a big city. So they're not really exposed to maybe as many different influences and different places and stuff like you get in a big city. But what do I think that Americans think about? I think that I always think sushi, you know? Sushi.
Weird game shows and weird TV, and like the fact that like cars and stuff like that, more like properness. That's what I feel people think about it.
In terms of Japanese culture, Americans think that the Japanese are polite, reserved, courteous. What do you think?
I think that Americans think that Japanese are very reserved, standoffish, and don't have much of a sense of humor. But then again, I don't think Americans have much of a sense of humor either.
So I think it's like a growing change, and you see it a lot more. I remember this girl, it was way back in elementary school. Holy crap. We had this little assignment where we were asked what we wanted to be for Halloween. I think it was like 5th grade or 4th grade, something. She was young. Anyway, she said she wanted to be Sailor Moon, and the whole class laughed. But I didn't laugh because I was like, that's cool. I remember watching Sailor Moon growing up, but also I was like the only other Asian kid in the class. So everybody laughed at her, and then she started breaking down crying. I was like, what's so funny? I thought that was a cool answer. Yeah, because we had to like just draw it out. So, but now I feel like, you know, if someone say that now, like, yeah, Sailor Moon's cool. It's like really progressive.
Honestly, it does depend on like where you are in the country. Here in Los Angeles, it's definitely a lot more like, because it's so diverse that it's just like other people. As for culture, definitely the image that's projected here is there's definitely a lot of really cute stuff. Lots of different foods.
I know some Americans tend to be racist, so there might be a certain like stigmas behind or like racist thoughts about it, but people my age, like 17, my generation, I think that we really admire it, and we've been walking around here for hours and we think it's so awesome. We love it. So
I think that a lot of Americans adore Japanese culture and think it's very beautiful and cute. Well, I know we, like as a culture, or just like the people that I know, like love anime, and I feel like that's like a lot of what people think of Japanese culture and not like much more. And sushi, that's what we think of Japanese culture in America, anime and sushi.
分かってないだけ。
I would say indulge into it. Go ahead and learn about it because it's pretty cool.
I wish to tell them that it's like a new experience. Like it's amazing. I like it. Like the whole Japanese culture is like something that everyone should get to know.
I think in comparison, American culture to Japanese culture, we are loud, we're brash, we're pushy. We don't necessarily want to follow the rules. We don't want to stand in line. And that goes against Japanese culture. I think they're everything that's opposite of that.
I think Americans are boisterous and loud and smelly compared to the Japanese. Oh, that's true.
Asian Americans and Asians from another country are different. I think that's one thing like I notice a lot. You know, like just because we look the same, like doesn't mean like we're necessarily the same. Because I grew up here, and like I'm Filipino. I went over to my Filipino friend's house and her aunt asked me if I was half white. I was like, why? Well, like just based off the way I dressed, talked, and acted, because I was so American. She didn't believe I was fully Asian, and I was just like, that's just me. Like, so like just because you look a certain way doesn't mean you're obligated to act and be a certain way. So like, I feel like as soon as we see something different, especially with people, we like to think like that's taboo, like they have to be different. But like, you know, like I grew up here, it doesn't. Yeah. So yeah.
I learned Japanese on the streets, absolutely on the street. My Japanese is totally street. If you want to learn Japanese, get a girlfriend or boyfriend. There's no other way to do it.
One of my favorite things was definitely the train system. They actually have a good public transportation system as opposed to Los Angeles. So coming back and I have to sit in traffic all day, I'm like, oh, I wish I could just hop on a train. That's honestly one of the things I miss most about Japan. The konbinis, their 7-Elevens, are a lot better than the ones here. You can actually get like a really good meal there.
Well, at least my generation, what I can say is that we're all very accepting and we try really hard not to be like the stereotypical Americans that are really snobby and spoiled. I can say we are, but I think we try not to seem that way to the world because we don't want people to think that we are very judgmental and racist and sexist and homophobic. So that's what I would say.
I really like everything about Japanese culture, and I think that a lot of things they make are really beautiful, and I like their food is really good.
And I don't know, probably just Japan isn't all like anime. Probably, you know, like that's what everyone thinks of Japanese culture, I feel like, and it's more than that.
It's a different culture. You need to be exposed to like everything. Everything's not American and gluttony and all that stuff. Sometimes it's different and respectful and stuff like that, because I feel like Japanese people are more respectful than anybody in America.
Konnichiwa, my friends. Welcome to Tokyo. I would like to tell you that it's true. Everyone does like sushi here. And not only can you get sushi, you can get it for $1, or you can get it for $1,000 for a plate of bluefin tuna. So delicious. And if you want, I know a guy, I can get you giraffe meat in the alley. Not really supposed to talk about it, but he's also got some rhino horn that is good for, you know, the ladies.
I don't know what it's called. What is it called? Like, okay, a little egg. Like a little yolk.
Their vines are pretty funny because I don't know what's going on, but like someone will be riding a bike and they'll just be pushed off, and I just think it's funny.
It has to be the movie Tampopo. Tampopo wa ichiban, you gotta see Tampopo. If you don't see Tampopo, if it's not on your bucket list, rewrite. Tampopo. Butterfly, 1970s Japan. The ultimate ramen. If you like ramen, watch the movie. If you hate ramen, watch the movie.
I think the funniest thing is the musical toilet seat. I mean, goodness gracious, I got work to do in there. I don't want, music is totally superfluous.
There's many sound effects, even on a public toilet in Japan. You can push buttons and yes. I guess that's so that they can continue to be polite people, even in a bathroom.
Saying like once you start getting into them, it's like literally anything you like, there's probably an anime for it. There's anime for basketball, street racing, football, like almost anything you can think of, robots, and like whatever you can think of, there's probably an anime made for it. And there's even like a dark secret anime where it's like just the weirdest stuff, and it's at first you're like, what the am I watching? But you can't stop because it's so weird, and you're just like, why am I into this?
No, I'm a big fan of Japanese game shows. So I have a lot of the Japanese game show gifts and stuff like that I keep. So I consider that's the funniest things I've seen. So I love Japanese game shows and the randomness, even though most of the time they don't have subtitles. So I can't really understand what's going on.
I don't know, I'd probably pass on that one.
Not to be mean, but they're really, really good at math, and like if they're really, really bad at math, it's like Like, I don't know why. I mean, it's not necessarily funny, but it's the only, like, closest thing, I guess, if that makes sense. Because they're supposed to be, like, really good at math, supposedly, but come on. Who's really all that great at math? So, sorry.
Panda no suki na tabemono wa nanda. I'm not even going to translate it.
My brother lives in Tokyo and is married to a Japanese woman. And every time we get together and are telling jokes, we have to translate. And that sort of takes the funniness of it. It sort of washes it out. And she says, that's not very funny.
What's the favorite food of panda? Bread. And everyone will say sasa, which is like bamboo. And you say, no, they're wrong. You don't know Japanese, it's panda. But everybody knows this joke, so they'll play along with you. The best Japanese jokes for America is easiest. Panda, pan means bread in French, bread in English, bread in Japanese.
I haven't really heard any.
I don't know any jokes. I don't know specific any Japanese jokes, but do you guys know any? No? I'm sorry.
I haven't really heard a lot. I'm just probably not exposed to a bunch of them, so I really don't have an answer to that one.
Oh man, the funniest Japanese joke I've ever heard. Ooh, there's just so many. Oh man. You know the one about the guys that you have to make sure that you put rice in your socks before you go to bed on Easter, or Godzilla comes and destroys all the peasants. If you're a bad kid, you know that old story, the bedtime story. It's only been 30 years since Godzilla and his radioactive monsters have came back and plagued our fire city. We must bind together and all join hands together to destroy the evil that is Godzilla. Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
And
Japan!
Arigato!